Oh, there you are. Right where I left you. Oh my vending bro and broettes. Corey Gumball. At it again. Alright, so Jesus. I really am the amateur trying to turn into a pro. And it's been like 5 months since I've been to this location. I think on the date I set it up like on the third month, and here we are on the 9th month. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 6 months. Jesus Christ, man. And who knows if the machine's even going to be in there at that point. If I was the guy and 6 months went by, I would be like, okay, I'm just going to like relock this thing, toss it, give it to someone, give up, because I'll give him a certain amount of time, and then after that, I'm just going to assume he's not coming back, right? So embarrassing, so bad. And then, of course, it's comboed with, oh, no M&Ms are coming out. No peanut M&Ms are coming out. It's taking everyone's money. And I'm just like, of course. I mean, why wouldn't it, right? Because when I set up that machine, I was a complete amateur, and I put peanut M&Ms, and the dispense mount was made for maybe a couple of M&Ms coming out. It was like literally like on like the lowest denomination, which can't even like squeeze out a peanut M&M. So the thing hasn't been working this whole time. So this whole time they've been eating people's quarters with the M&Ms, and then he's told me he has to reimburse them. And you know, the candy looks fresh. I was worried about the starburst not working, but the temperature in there is cool. It's like he has some air conditioning on. Starbursts were completely out. Gumball's halfway, and peanut M&M's completely full. Candy looks fresh. A simple fix that should have been done not even a week later. Should have been the next day, you know. But remember, these people, you know, it's not their job to hold on to my number and contact me, right? It's supposed to be easy for them. That's the whole thing. It's easy for you. So I told him I'm adding a sticker with my information on. I think this is the greatest idea. And so I put the label on there. So they have my label, contact information on there. Oh, here's another one. Here's a nice tip for the day. You might want to bring in a second machine with you in case one goes bunk on you and you need to replace it on the fly. So good thing I brought another candy machine with me, because guess what? I don't know, the key just starts not working in the back where all the money is. So if something happened, if I finished up here and I didn't have a second machine, I would have to pull the machine out because I couldn't get it to lock. I could barely get the key out. And at that point, who knows if I could even come back. But guess what? I had a replacement Viver, same machine, on me, in yellow. And I was planning on, hey, if I had to drive this far, I wanted to make it worthwhile. And I wanted to just be able to just drive some side streets and pitch some people and say, hey, I got a machine in my car. I'll set up for you right now. I want to call this the Ryan K. Co-worker of mine. Shout out to Ryan K. He actually shows up to work on his days off, goes to the pre-shift meeting, or stands next to the clock-in and asks people if they want the night off and if they want to go home, and he takes their spot. And it works like every time. He always finds someone to take their shift. We're going to go in here. We're going to check out the new Viver. We're going to see how much money this made, and we're going to hook this guy up with more than 20%. That's going down. Let's check it out. I don't come to your mind like good at the time, so you not gonna slide. I hold my nine, maybe one more time. I got brand new, fresh, just opened peanut M&Ms right here. Dispensing properly 5, 6, 7 pieces right here. I do need to change this label. I just ordered them so that it can go right here, match everything else. But I upgraded to ice cream sundae gumballs for the young Jedis in training. And then here we are in a nice cool temperature. And the starbursts seem like they were this I tried taping it. I need to try gluing this on for it to work properly. And hopefully that should work. So outside of a sticker and this, everything else is good. Dispensing properly. This right here, for the most part, is dispensing properly. Although it goes like 2, 3, 4, and then you get a 0, and then you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The consistency is somewhat off. I'm hoping if the temperature from what was in my car recalibrates and everything balances back out and it just starts dispensing 2 and 3 on the regular. So there wasn't an issue from the last time. Everything was empty and it seemed like there was no problem with it. So I'm hoping for the same. And like I said, I really think it's temperature based, because the ones that were in there on the last machine that was here, they were on the harder side, like the way that they should be. The ones from my car that I just put in, a little bit softer, not completely soft, but sun like really just starts melting them away, and that's when it starts getting clogged in this part, when it starts pulling it down, and then it starts putting pressure on them, and that pressure squeezes them, and then they start getting caught, right? And then all of a sudden more start getting caught, and then you get that build up and it just doesn't start working. So I want to still believe that Starburst is an awesome choice, but it's got to be in the right atmosphere. It's got to be in the right temperature. Anyways, I am forgetting one thing. One important thing is something to put on that scale. I shall return. What up, bros? It's your boy in the birdcage. Final thoughts on that last vending spot. Well, it was a tough one, bros. It was a tough one, but we made it through and stronger for it. And it felt good being able to show up prepared. And that was the difference between coming off as like a complete amateur and faltering and failing and ultimately maybe losing the spot versus professionaling up, showing that, hey, I'm not here as level 1. Like, you remember me 6 months ago, I am now level 20, right? And watch my level 20 skills. I just had a feeling to bring an extra machine, and I didn't bring the extra machine for that spot. You know what I mean? It was to take side streets there or home and to sell another shop on getting a machine so I can make the trip, you know, more valuable and then start getting more locations bundling up in that area, making that trip worth it, right? Because that was the problem. It took me 6 months to go check on this location because I never wanted to drive the 30 miles or whatever so out of the way, and I got nothing else over there. Anyways, so at least I showed up prepared, you know, and all of a sudden I was able to fix all the issues. And even when something sudden came up that I wasn't expecting at all, like ever, these keys feel so much better on the Vevers than they do on the Rhinos. And so whenever I put in the key, it's like an easy turn and open, and expect the worst, because that's what happened. All of a sudden, before you know it, I put the key in, I can't get the key out of the back. I can't turn the key when I put it in. I can't even get it out. I got it out, But I couldn't get it locked again. It was considered broken. I tried tinkering in the back. Here's some leveling up that I need to get to, and that's where I need to have tools to be able to pop that lock off and then have keys on and have new locks on me to relock that spot, right? Whether it's spray, hammer, grab a wrench or something and ply off that, little bar that holds that piece, the lock together. I'm not there yet, right? That's like level 30 or 40. I'm working on it. But at least I had a machine. And so all of a sudden I can't get the key out. I'm thinking, oh my God, if I didn't have the other machine, I would have to pull this machine out. And I would probably have gone straight to Home Depot to try to get a tool and to relock it to bring it back to that machine, because if any time went by, I don't even know if the guy would let me come back. Because now I just look like such a problem. I've been a problem this whole time, and now I have to leave to fix the problem. It's too problematic, I seem like way too much of an amateur. So what I'm getting at is, at least I showed up and looked like a pro. There was an issue. Not only did I solve it, I went above and beyond. Even though the issue was like super easy, we're talking about like one peanut M&M stuck because it was dispensing the smallest amount of candy. All I had to do was tinker that part and open it up to dispense more candy, which it is now, right? Easy fix. I gave him, like I said in the video, upgraded his specialty gumballs, fresh peanut M&Ms, and then also, and I loaded him up with the Starburst. So all of that looking fresh, working perfect.
Slumming it like usual.
Slumming it like usual. It's all I know. I know. I know. So I'm proud of myself for being able to leave with a satisfied customer, right? The machine, needs a new tongue, needs a sticker, but I have the card on there, as you can see in the last video. Outside of that, needs 25-cent stickers on there. I forgot as well. But for the most part, my only concern is the Starburst. Sometimes dispensing 0, because the last thing I want to do is give this guy another headache. I don't want him to think that the machine's broken, and I don't think there should be a problem. I don't know. It's close. I explained earlier, it's based on temperature, and so in there, it's pretty cool. And I think all those Starbursts are going to... What up, Gare Bear? All those Starbursts are going to solidify, get harder, right? Because the temperature is cooler. And so I think it should fully dispense properly. Like I said, my cooler locations, I haven't had any problems or issues or anyone saying anything about that. If 0 comes out, and then the next round it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and as long as the 0 isn't that consistent, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, I can live with that, even though that's still a problem. As long as that 0 doesn't promote the machine getting worse and the numbers of zeros increase until it gets clogged completely and stops working in general, right? That's the fear, is if the 0's propelling the problem. What I really wanted to talk about was how much money that machine made. Now, you saw how much it made, But I don't know if I mentioned it, but I gave bad service. And when I give bad service, I mean, the guy told me that every time someone put a quarter in the peanut M&M's slot, they were disappointed because they got nothing. And then he had to give them money back, which is annoying. It's unprofessional. He didn't have my contact information. That's another thing, as I put my contact sticker on there. Great idea, by the way. I'm going to make business cards also out of those stickers. And instead of like for maintenance, I think I'm going to put Corey Gumball. And then when I go up and pitch these places to see if they want a candy machine, I'm going to give them a sticker and have it say Corey Gumball. And then maybe I'll have my phone number on there. And then maybe have it say candy machines, right? And yeah, I can do different designs, you know. Like I gave one with like a cat with a gumball, blowing a gumball. And, you know, they're kind of catchy. And also because I'm making them, technically, like, they're like free. I don't know if I love the machine, so I might return it, but for now, at least I'm trying it out. I'll make a ton of the labels. So even if I return it, I'll have a ton of labels to at least try out and use for this round. They're not good enough to make pro labels, and I'm still wondering what I could use to make my own pro labels to try to save money on that. Because the guy that's making these labels online, I don't think he has any competition, and I think he's just killing it. The labels are outstanding, though. They're perfect, right? And then the ones that he doesn't have, he does special requests, which I did for my ice cream sundae ones, which I should be getting in the mail this week. And even though his prices are fair, they still add up, and I, becoming the professional, I'm looking to save money. Okay. The machine made $136 roughly, and what you didn't see was I was supposed to give him 20%. 20%, but because of the falters and the mistakes and the embarrassment, I got to give good business. I got to make it up. So I did. I gave him 40%, which is let's hope the calculations of the quarters was correct and there was actually $136 in, because I gave him 13 times 4, which was $52. And I decided to give him $20 in quarters and $32 cash. The reason why I did that was because, you know, I don't want to give this guy $50 in quarters. That's kind of annoying. And so the cash part is kind of nice, but I didn't want to give him all cash because I wanted to have him to have a ton of quarters on hand to put back in the machine, which I feel like is a really important key concept. And at first I only was going to give him like $12 in quarters back, and then I was like, no, give him more. Then I gave him $20 in quarters, and now talking about it right now, I was thinking, shit, maybe I should give him $25 or $30 worth of quarters. Because obviously the more quarters he has on hand, the more he's going to spend them. Whether people ask for change from their own dollar bills or he just hands them out from, you know, just wanting to be a nice guy, which I could see him doing, or, you know, making up for all the quarters that people that had a bad experience the first time. Hey, here's a quarter, try it out again, you get a handful of peanut M&Ms properly. So I think it's a very important strategy to tip in quarters so that they have access to them. And another trick that I did, another leveraging strategy, was where do you put $20 worth of quarters? Like I said, I wanted to come up with some sort of thank you bag. I don't really want to spend too much money or effort on it. It has to make sense, but right now I came up with a good idea, and that was the jar, the plastic container that the candy comes in, the twist off top part, makes for a great quarter holder. That little cap held $20 worth of quarters, and so I had them all on there, and so if anything, he could keep them in there and people can grab, or he can give from there. And so I thought that was another great idea that I came up with that I think I'm going to definitely hang on to and start using in the future. because I go through the candy fast enough to where I'm going through the caps, I'm throwing them away. I don't need to keep all of them. And so I can give out these caps full of quarters to all the people on a collection day, no problem. And then it's at least organized instead of handing you, like, they might have a cash register that they can put it into, but still, I think it's nice. And then this way they can put it on display and then maybe get rid of them faster, pump them right through my machine again. Obviously, that's what they're going to use them for. So I ended up giving that guy $52, right? Another thing is, I don't want to show this guy how much money the machine's making and have him get its own. But also, it's nice that I'm showing him how much work I'm putting into the machine and how you probably don't want to have to go through that. Because I'm sitting there on the ground tinkering and working on this for at least an hour, if not longer. But in the end, to wrap it all up, at least I'm proud of the work that I finished with. Brand new machine, fresh candy, working good, upgraded candy, nice new labels, right? And I hooked him up fat with double his cut. So you could say, hey, yeah, this guy started off wrong, but hey, he put his label on there. I can text or call him anytime. He reassured me that there should be no problems with the machine, which outside of that 0 on the starburst, which, like I said, if it's going to stay cool in there, shouldn't be a problem, hopefully, for the most part. Everything should be great. And so imagine how much money this location can make. Dude, if this made $136, granted, it was 6 months later, but the M&Ms wasn't even working. And I don't think everyone was tanking their money in there. At one point, I think you say, hey, don't use the M&Ms, right? If you're going to use that machine, don't use the M&Ms. I can't imagine everyone just walking up and getting wasted on that. Nonetheless, I still think the numbers can be better. And even if they just went up just a little bit, let's just round off to like 150 in that 6 months period. We're talking 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. So if we do $25, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, that's $25 a month in sales, minus his cut, minus the candy. Potentially we could make $15 a month. 100 machines, $1,500 at that rate. Pretty solid work right there, right? Technically that's like one third of our freedom number, right? I mean, yeah, it'd take 300 candy machines to become completely free, but it's far away, right? We're only 10% there, but it's doable. And who knows, maybe I'll just go for that. Why not, right? If I get to 100, why stop? Also, stay away from those companies that say they'll find you locations because they're bank robbers. All right, I'm out. Peace.